Good afternoon. And the mic is not on. The mic is not on.
It is. It is.
It is on. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I couldn't see that the mic was on. Okay, so the title says Miracles, Miracles, Miracles. And it actually, it's a lot of miracles. About 10 weeks ago, I have on my back porch a garden box, which I should have grabbed photos of that. Anyways, so I have a garden box that Jimmy made me that had Italian parsley, spinach, oregano, aloe plants. I mean, it had a lot of plants in it. Well, something had dug in there, and I thought that it was a field mouse, and Jimmy and I were debating on it. So we just decided to leave the stuff in there the last time, because it kept bringing stuff and making a home in our garden box. And Jimmy says, well, I think it's the bunnies, that we have wild bunnies around here. And he goes, I think it's a bunny. And I'm like, there's no way a bunny is going to hop up in our garden box and have babies. I mean, like a wild bunny. Okay. So I went out there one day to see if anything was in there. And I look and I pull it back a little bit, and I think it's a field mouse. Well, Jimmy comes home that day. We really can't see, and whatever, it was a baby, so it didn't have any eyes open. We could only see just its little head, and I didn't want to disturb him and scare him. So we waited a few more days, and then we look in there, and the thing's growing ears. And then I noticed that there's 4 of them in there. So I'm like, okay, we still don't know what it is because they're so small. And then a week goes by, another week goes by. Now, mind you, we're leaving the screen door open, and the baby, the mama, is coming in every night and feeding them. You can tell. So one day I look out there, and now their eyes are open and they're looking at me, and it's bunnies. And I'm like, oh my God. So at this point, they hadn't eaten any of my plants, and the mom was still coming. Well, they started hopping around, so I researched and I looked what they were eating and everything. So Jimmy put chicken wire up around there because I was afraid they were going to hop out of the box. The one hopped out of his box. His name is Tweak. Okay, Tweak is he freaks out, and he jumped out of the box. I'm afraid my dogs were going to get him, and they're so small that I didn't want a wild bird or something to eat him. So we made him this little home outside, and they just kept getting bigger. So then I bought a bigger house for him. Now, 10 weeks go by. 2 nights ago, now 4 bunnies, they just come out of nowhere. That's not normal. Okay. And then 2 nights ago, Jimmy and I are outside. He's shaking out the towels for the bunnies in the garden. Great fertilizer, go figure. And Duke is something flies into the yard, and Duke's got it. Well, my neighbor has pigeons. So I figured that one of the pigeons must have been, flew into the yard, and the dog got it. We ran over there, and I spray Duke with the hose, and I had to whack him with it and stuff to get him to let it go. And lo and behold, it's a chicken. Look at that. You see the big one in the back there? That big chicken, that chicken flew into my yard 2 nights ago. Okay. Flew into my yard. Chickens don't fly. All right. So I go over to, I'll just let you look at that while I'm talking because it's kind of neat. So yesterday I read all up. Now the chicken's a little wobbly. Okay. Duke hurt it a little bit. He didn't break the skin. He didn't hurt it or nothing, but he's got a little hurt ankle. So yesterday we go to the Tractor Supply down the road, and I start reading about chickens and everything, and they don't like to be alone. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So we bought 4 more chickens, and you have to buy 4 at a time. So now I have chickens, and I want to show you my bunnies so you will believe me. So my husband's going to grab the camera. Uh-oh, wrong one. Pink. So my husband's, there he is. There's Baggins right behind us. He's going to grab the camera and show you our bunnies over there.
Go back to the other.
I am. And show you our bunnies. See, we bought them a luxury house. Got to go down. There you go, Baggins. There's 4 of them. There's only 3 right there. They're a little scared, and we got a guy that likes to hide upstairs all the time. He's back in the corner. He hides back in there. Okay, so cool little bunnies, right? This has never happened to me before. I've lived in this house. This August will be 3 years that we've lived here. And that garden box has been on our back porch for almost 2. And you can go back to the chickens, Baggins. Oh, there he's moving. Oh, he's peeing. But that garden box had been on our back porch for well over a year, and that bunny had never come up there to have babies. It's just strange. Well, when I was a kid, and I'm attributing this to God. When I was a kid, I had a bunny, and I had to get rid of it because I couldn't have the bunny in my house. We really couldn't afford it, but a friend of mine they had a farm. They lived on the farm. They didn't have the farm, so they took the bunny. Well, I think that God brought me the bunnies, and I'm going to take care of them forever, just like the chicken. I mean, look at the way the world is going right now. We got, it's just kind of weird, you know, we got all this, we just got all this stuff going on. There's no way that I could afford to buy and do this and that, and it's a miracle. God has given us everything that we need thus far, and it's the truth. And most people take for granted a lot of things, and I feel extremely rich right now. Everything is going on in the world, and sometimes we have to bring some positive into it. And God is actually watching over each and every one of us. At times it may not feel like it, but you just have to stay quiet for a little while and pray and listen to Him. I have a hard time believing things because I don't believe, I was taught that. Believe half of what you hear and almost nothing, believe half of what you see and almost nothing of what you hear. Because, you know, people are liars. They like to make up things. They like to do whatever. So this last 2 years has been a very large learning curve for me. I would have never believed all these stories that you hear going on. I would have never believed it. Never. So God showed me. You see, I've been different than most people my whole entire life. I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying that I've been different. I've had dreams, very vivid dreams my whole entire life, and a lot of them have come true. I don't read people's cards. I don't do fortune telling because I don't believe that that's what you're supposed to do with any of it. Unless God guides you to tell somebody something, that is the only way that you're supposed to do it. And I've believed that my whole entire life. Now, my dreams have been a little bit different lately, and it's hard for me to believe to do something. And a lot of people are mentioning Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark. Well, before I got the bunnies, I know that there's a storm coming, unlike any storm we've ever seen. And when the snow melts, we go up the mountain, and it's important. I've been collecting seeds and other things and learning how to grow things It's very hard, but we all have to learn right now. Shit's about to hit the fan. And today, it's about miracles. God gave these bunnies to me, and he also gave me that chicken because he knew that I would go and buy more chickens. He knew that I would take care of them. I have a luxury condo coming for him too. I'll show you guys that later. I'm ordering it tonight. And Jimmy will put that one together for me just like he put this one together for the bunnies. Now, it's important. Let me show you the chickens because they're just cool to watch and they really like you picking them up. Now, a lot of things are going to be happening and it's going to be hard. On every last one of us, it's going to be hard. We just have to look at every single thing that is positive about every single day. Positivity and showing love to one another, even when you want to rip each other's heads off, is what's going to get us through this. Violence is not going to get us through it this time. I believe that God is showing me because I have to see things firsthand. I would never have believed that there were lizard people, but there are. I've seen them because God has to show me in order for me to believe. I won't believe what I see on the internet. I only look and search to see if it's the same thing that I've been shown. And yes, I do read the Bible. I also went last October and got baptized at Global Vision Bible Church by Pastor Greg Locke. He is my favorite pastor out of all the pastors that I met. And I met him last year at the Reawakening American Conference. And I listen to him, and I also read the Bible, and I also listen to what God tells me. And he told me I didn't want to make any videos. So then he gave me the chicken, and I'm supposed to make videos with chickens and rabbits and tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, and also positive things, because we have to see what is coming. They are attacking us in every single way positive. They have perverted everything. And the only way for us to get out of this is God and Jesus. I love life. I love the oceans. I love the trees. I love waterfalls. I love being outside. Right now, I'm learning to not be afraid of the animals. I used to never be afraid of animals. So the chickens, the rabbits won't really let us pick them up too much, but I've been handling the chickens a lot. We're all here to learn something, and that's what this is about. Now, I want to say something pretty funny, because I will have to tell you this. Like, seriously? If a donkey shows up, then we know the chicken sealed the deal for me. But if a donkey shows up in my backyard, I have a fenced-in backyard. It's a little bit shorter than a chain link fence, but there ain't no possible way for a donkey to get in there. You see what I'm saying? So if something else shows up, then I think it's going to be time after the storm that we go up the mountain. I don't know which one, but I know that I'll be told. As long as I fast, pray, and try to stay as positive as possible. When you get angry, just stop, take a deep breath, and pray to Jesus and God. Pray and ask them to make it stop in your way. Don't pray in other people's way. You pray in your way. There's no correct way to pray. You are talking to God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit themselves. So you talk to them. They know you. They listen to you in your head. They know what you're thinking. They know what you're going to do. You have free will to always change. So just know, just be open and talk to them all the time. Pick up your Bible. Read some of it. Because it's going to touch you in a different way than what it touches someone else. And that's important. Because you, just as we have our own personal relationship with God and Jesus. That is the way it's always supposed to be. So if the donkey shows up, it's going to be some real interesting shit. Just saying, man. I don't know what's going on here. And the other strange thing that's happening, I have some oregano plants on my back porch that I have left on this table since before Christmas. They're still alive. They won't die. I don't know what's going on here. I buy these old raggedy plants off the clearance rack and then I bring them back to life. All I do is replant them and put water in there like normal people, but they come back to life. Things are going crazy around here and I don't know what it is. Actually, I kind of do, but it's not time for all of that yet. I need people to get to know me. I'm a good person. And we have chickens and bunnies. So what else are we going to have?
2 dogs.
Oh, we have 2 dogs. So we'll figure out what else is going to come along. I just hope that somewhere, some way, it can inspire somebody. Think about what has God done for you lately? What positive thing that has happened in your life that there's no way that it could come from any other way? Mine's a literal chicken. Like a real chicken. So, I hope you all have a wonderful night. And I'll be coming to talk back with everybody very soon. Always remember, you are smart, you are beautiful, and you are loved. God and Jesus love you, and I also love you. Have a wonderful night.